Hello, and welcome to what will soon be the new Project Veritas headquarters, here at an undisclosed location on the East Coast. 2015 was a year of expansion for us. We spent the year recruiting, mobilizing, training many undercover investigators. And most of our investigations and operations in 2016 will take place at this location. But before we get to 2016, let's take a look at our successes throughout 2015.
Exclusive. You already know. You already know. Who's in the building? This is Project Veritas. Yeah, you know the name.
In 2015,
yeah, we changed the game. Now look what we did. Nah, it ain't the same.
This is mainstream media.
No, we ain't the same. This is Project Veritas. Yeah, you know the name.
In 2015,
yeah, we changed the game. Now look what we did. Nah, it ain't the same.
This is mainstream media.
Nah, we ain't the same. We got reporters from coast to coast. We know exactly what you want the most. We bring the truth to the people, it's hope, because only the truth is what the people want most. They try to lie.
So I just got inspected again by customs. I actually saw the computer screen while they were detaining me. And I saw the screen, I saw the text on the screen. He is an amateur reporter who does publicity stunts. And that's what prompted the agent to say, did you make the news recently? So now we have confirmation.
I just know you guys are a pain in the ass.
Oh yeah, you're that Breitbart dude from Acorn.
Okay.
Yeah, right? You are?
Yes.
Okay. You're a race-baiting animal.
Most likely, they won't get realtors on June 30th and there'll be a lapse.
Looks like Maxine Waters may have to eat her words.
Mark my words.
Mark your words. Justice for everyone.
Who's your father?
Yeah, that was my father. I'm his oldest child.
So what, you think Al Sharpton is kind of like a crook in a sense? Like you think he's like...
Our first investigation of the year, released in partnership with the New York Post, was an undercover blockbuster exposing Al Sharpton and his corrupt exploitation of tragedy. Saturday, February 21st, we went to Al Sharpton's headquarters in Harlem to see if we could get a comment.
No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! That's why folk destroy what we do. That's why people exaggerate and lie. You got some here now to distort. And just because they clowning don't mean that I'm going to get distracted. There's a difference between clowns and those that watch clowns. I get to see watch clowns. Hello.
The Sharpton story had national repercussions, trended on Facebook, and was picked up by media around the world. Our undercover cameras revealed what many believed to be true but had never been able to prove. For the first time, our story had cracked the media market in New York City.
Here at the National Action Network in Harlem, they've faced front-page headlines before, but none quite like this. Al about the money.
Even mainstream journalists like Chris Cuomo of CNN had to admit that the hidden camera has its virtues.
James O'Keefe is definitely someone who's identified with the right, but Eric Garner's daughter isn't, and she's the one who said that Al is all about the money.
She was caught on tape not knowing she was being videotaped, so she wouldn't have said
Sometimes
that.
that's when you're the most honest.
Well, there you go.
It's like bringing in a coach to do a training on a sports team.
Oh, really? Okay.
We shifted gears dramatically when we began releasing our series of campus videos in early March. Undercover video captured Cornell University's assistant dean for students essentially endorsing the formation of a pro-ISIS, pro-Hamas club on campus.
Project Veritas, they have done some pretty impressive work in the past. Let's take another look at this dean, Joseph Scafito.
Maybe we could get like a freedom fighter to come and do like a training camp for students.
I have no idea. I mean,
would that be a... Well,
you'd be allowed to do something like that, just like bringing in a coach to do a training on a sports team.
Oh, really? Okay.
The remarkable video shocked the American people, and the story went viral, again making the New York Post.
Cornell, where the dean says ISIS is welcome and come on down Hamas. What do you make of that?
ISIS is going to go to Cornell and chop people's heads off.
Caught on undercover video saying that he would welcome Hamas or ISIS on campus.
Yeah.
What are they doing over there in Cornell? It may be so cold their brain is not working
properly. It is cold up there.
At Barry University in Florida, school officials went even further to assist the forming of a pro-ISIS club. Their only concern? The name itself.
At a Florida college this morning, a secretly recorded video is now raising questions about whether Barry University uses your tax dollars to support campus clubs intended to aid members of ISIS.
Oh, so you do specifically want to send aid to ISIS?
Well, yeah. So maybe just change the name if I want to have the club. Like, do you have any suggestions, like, as what I could call it?
Yeah, we talked about maybe saying in the Middle East as opposed...
Sympathetic students for...
In support of the Middle East.
Okay.
As opposed to having the ISIS.
Yeah.
So we changed the name to Students in Support of the Middle East. Then we asked Associate Professor of Communications, Pawena Sirimankala, to be the club's advisor. The Barry video was filmed by one of our most accomplished young journalists, who at the time was a senior at the school. The young honors student was threatened with suspension after our video was released. The school was deeply embarrassed by the story, which again attracted widespread media attention.
That tape is sparking a campus controversy, one that had the school's president speaking out.
I'm incensed.
James Keefe se describe a sí mismo como un periodista investigativo. Dice que lleva 5 años utilizando tácticas de carnal.
And so a student who got grades good enough to win a Scholastic Award last week, who is set to graduate in a couple of weeks, she cannot attend classes. She can't even be on the Barry campus, according to her suspension.
Project Veritas obtained counsel, but it was the pressure you guys put on the university. They backed down, and our undercover investigator graduated with a 4.0 GPA from that university. She now works full-time for us thanks to the generosity of one of our supporters. She's the Dr. Bob Shillman Fellow here at Project Veritas. The graveyards of American soldiers are filling up with men and women, not killed in battle, but killed by their own hands. Bob Cramner blames the VA.
Are you angry at the VA?
Well, sure, I'm angry at the VA. I'm angry that this whole thing happened because it wasn't necessary. It wasn't necessary.
David Cramner was 28. He is survived by his wife and a 5-year-old daughter. Our 2-part investigation into the Veterans Administration was both timely and impactful, and our effort was noted by the House Veterans Affairs Committee. We are planning more undercover investigations looking at government, waste, and fraud in the upcoming year. Project Veritas traveled to Athens, Greece over the summer and brought back stories the mainstream media missed.
We came here illegally from Turkey.
Okay. You came here illegally from Turkey?
Yes.
How do you get a fake passport? Like, how do you get one?
Forget this idea. Let's talk about another thing. We'll not tell about this.
How do you get one? How do you get a fake one?
This is not fake. This is original.
No, I know, but how, if I wanted to get a fake one, how would I do that?
You need a person who made the fake passport, and you need to pay for it. Maybe about 3,000 euro.
Is that how a lot of people from Syria come to the States?
Yes.
Is it easy then to just to get here?
We came here by rubber boat. You know, we need to travel to Germany.
How are you going to do that?
Maybe by a plane, by a fake passport.
Stay tuned for more foreign exposés in the coming year.
I was expecting like a war zone in there or something.
Yeah,
you know?
it's propaganda.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I vote?
No.
No.
There's no way to
I have
vote.
to see ID. You have to see identification as Greek citizen.
Yes. Furthermore, you have to be written in these catalogs in order to vote.
And you have to show your ID.
Of course.
Of course. Well, in the United States, we don't have to do that.
You go to vote and you will not give an ID.
Correct. Yes.
And how they know that you are the one that you say you are?
Oh, we fight with the police sometimes.
You're going to fight them?
Maybe.
Even Osama bin Laden could cross.
He's back! Not bin Laden, James O'Keefe.
It was back in 2014 when we dramatically illustrated the porousness of our nation's borders by crossing the Rio Grande River dressed like Osama bin Laden.
You know, it's interesting because an American reporter named James O'Keefe, dressed as Osama bin Laden, walked across the border of the Rio Grande River undetected. Did something like that concern you?
Actually, sir, he was not undetected. He was
known to the border security agencies who saw him?
Then why
walk
didn't they
across?
stop him when he came across?
Sir, I can't answer that question.
No, you can't answer it because they weren't there to stop him. And that's a matter of being on record.
When passing through Montreal, I was brought into a large room where 4 customs agents questioned me for nearly an hour about my business model, my next story, and even who I might vote for.
So you're a reporter for who?
I started my own media company. It's called Project Veritas, and we do sort of investigative documentary films exposing hypocrisy and corruption.
Okay. Within the government, within a big corporate company?
Mostly within the government, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think I ran that.
So how long have you had your own media company?
About 5 years. We're an IRS tax-exempt charity organization.
Okay. So how is it going with that?
It's going pretty well.
So you're like a shock, that's not a shock, like a shock reporter. You basically go to the extremes to prove a point.
I wouldn't put it that regard, but that's one description.
Well, yeah. Well, no, I'm trying to wrap my head around exactly what your point is to get across.
On one trip, one federal agent actually told me that they're going to retaliate against me every single time I come into the United States. Another agent had a screen, I looked at it, and it said that they were doing this because I had crossed into Texas illegally. Now, it's a shame that our government chooses to retaliate against journalists instead of actually fixing the problem, but we, collectively, as a nation, have to determine if that's the type of government we want to have.
They were handing the Constitution out on campus. I didn't think that this would happen, but I realized that the Constitution is kind of a trigger for me. Overall, I see it just as a really oppressive document. I mean, I'm like scared to walk around campus and see the Constitution. Honestly, can we just is there like a shredder or something? I think it might be like really therapeutic to see that.
Yep, I think we have a shredder in the front office there. Did you want to do it with me?
Yeah, I could watch.
Yeah, okay, yep.
The Constitution in everyday life causes people pain.
Is there a shredder that I could use?
A shredder?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. In here?
Thank you. That made me feel better. Mm-hmm.
Like we had a fight, baby in my love, baby in my life. When the bass goes knock knock and that southern tempo drop and that cut fresh from that chop shop, you know we rapping that blah blah.
One of our journalists suggested this idea to expose how far college officials will go to placate a student trigger. But it wasn't until we got the video back of officials at Cornell, Yale, and Vassar actually destroying copies of the U.S. Constitution did we see how absurd the political correctness movement on campus has become. Our series of Constitution stories earned nearly $2 million worth of media coverage for Project Veritas.
So we don't have any cool state secrets. I just told you the biggest thing that's going on right now. That's not public. There's some people that know, but that's not public. See, that's kind of cool. The thing I just told you about, that's not public.
What?
The EPA suit. That won't happen until later this week. It would be really bad if somebody found out before the middle of the week.
Exposing corrupt and unethical government officials has been a staple story for Project Veritas for years. This year's expose investigated Maryland's Deputy Attorney General. Some 24 states are challenging Obama's Clean Power Act, and what Vinaraja told our journalist was that Maryland was going to join the fight in support of Obama, something that no one knew outside of his office.
So tell me more about this EPA case. I have me interested.
At the end of this week, you will see that there's a lot of news about it.
Really?
There's some news about it now. They just haven't figured out what we're doing.
Okay, and then tell me a little bit more about that.
So it's really cool, right? We're going to try to help out some states, and nobody knows what states are going to help out. And
but you know?
Yeah, because it's our decision.
What states is it?
New York is leading it, California, there are some states that nobody knows, but I don't even know those states.
Our legal experts say Vinaraja likely violated the Maryland rules of professional conduct when he leaked this story about his client, the state of Maryland, to our journalist.
Yeah. It's just not, it's not breaking any rules or laws to tell you.
Oh.
But it would be really bad if somebody found out before the middle of the week.
The lawsuit?
No, what our state's gonna do.
But you didn't even tell me what your state's gonna do.
No, I did.
What are they doing?
We're gonna help out the EPA.
Carl, this is what you're going to do for the 2016 election. This is one of 12 different... 2015 also saw Project Veritas' first annual training retreat. Traveling from as far as California and Oregon, our team of staff and volunteer journalists met to learn and share ideas, tactics, and strategies. For the first time, we developed an entire curriculum for our undercover program and rehearsed scripts for days on end for upcoming assignments.
Chris from DOD, tell me everything you saw.
We have employed several former CIA operatives to help our journalists hone their undercover skills. And for the first time, as a group, we were all together, bonding and building for 2016.
Well, that made the front page of the New York Post. Wow. Just the image. Just the image.
Speaking engagements across the country not only spread the word about our work, but also were an opportunity to discover new talent and gather tips and story ideas. Our rebuilt website is almost complete and will become a hub for news and commentary as well as an in-depth archive going all the way back to our beginnings. So you've only seen half of 2015. The other half was the investments we've made into building the capacity for Project Veritas in 2016. Staffing. We've hired a Navy SEAL to run our field operations. We just hired a chief of staff with 30 years of global and military experience. We have an executive director who's a Vietnam veteran and who's run presidential campaigns in the past. We have undercover people across the country, researchers, volunteers, willing to do anything for our mission. I guarantee you that 2016 will be the most effective and impactful year Veritas has ever seen. As you know, Project Veritas is a non-for-profit organization. Every dollar we spend comes from you. I'm not beholden to anybody. I don't have anybody telling me what to do. I don't advertise on our website. What we do here is unprecedented. We're building something very special, and I'm asking you to be a part of it. Make your tax-exempt donation today at projectveritas.com and be part of something that's going to change our country for the better in 2016. I'm James O'Keefe. Thank you.
Exclusive. You already know. You already know. Who's in the building?
I just know that you guys are a pain in the ass.
This is Project Veritas, yeah, you know the name.
In 2015,
yeah, we changed the game. Now look what we did. Nah, it ain't the same.
This is mainstream media.
No, we ain't the same. This is Project Veritas, yeah, you know the name.
In 2015,
yeah, we changed the game. Now look what we did. Nah, it ain't the same.
This is mainstream media.
Nah, we ain't the same. We got reporters from coast to coast. We know exactly what you want the most. We bring the truth to the people as hope, because only the truth is what the people want most. They try to lock us, sue us, man, you can't trump this. We ain't stopping cause we know you want justice. Reveal the hush list, bring them out to the public, so you can witness and fight back for justice. This is Project Veritas, yeah, you know the name. Look what we did, ain't you glad that we came? We're building back America cause things ain't the same. We do it for the love, now we don't do it for the fame.